What up, what up, what up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Instructions for Humanity is your girl, Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I am your supernatural quantum healer. Guys, I am also the author of The Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages. Go ahead and pick that up on Amazon, guys. Let go. Let's jump into the prophecy. I have a few prophecies that I need to bring you guys. P. Diddy, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. Let's talk about that. So, let's start with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and then we'll go right into the P. Diddy update that I have for you guys. So, about 5 or 6 days ago, I had a dream of Jay-Z and Beyonce. And it was very interesting in this dream. It felt as if they were getting away, but one was trapped and one had been expanded. Very interesting, guys. So, I saw Jay-Z, an image of him in like a tropical area where I felt as if he was hiding behind some tropical trees you may see in Bali or Costa Rica. And it's very interesting when I looked into his eyes, he looked like his 5-year-old self. He had reverted back to his 5-year-old self. And the trees were like covering his whole face. And all I could really see was like his eyes and part of his nose. But I knew it was Jay-Z and I knew that it was around 5 years old. That was a version of him I was seeing. And then at the same time, I saw an image of Beyonce, and she was wearing all white, and she was holding a baby, like kind of holding the baby up, like glorifying the baby, right? And it was very interesting. She was almost moving as if she was gliding. It's like very interesting because her feet weren't actually on the ground, but it was just hovering right over it. It felt very much like her in the spirit, guys. Very interesting. I think there's two things going on with this. So I do believe that Beyonce will get away. I do believe that this baby is representing the family jewels. I've been saying this for a while. They've been separating assets. Now that Beyonce has most of these assets, she is moving away, and he now is left vulnerable, scared, and has reverted back to the time when he received his scarring, his soul trauma, which I do believe he has a father wound. And I do believe that's why I'm seeing him at 5 years old. He's a scared little boy. Jay-Z is shaking in his boots. I don't care what nobody say, and I don't care about the cease and desist letter that they just sent to Pierce Morgan. He's shaking in his boots, and he's hiding. And he may be hiding in a tropical area. He may actually be hiding there, or rather moved assets there, where it's like untraceable. That's what I'm seeing. And Beyonce is kind of just, she had her back turned to him. She's just kind of gliding off. So I would not be surprised if we hear about this could be a divorce, if we hear something of a separation, or is he going to keep Beyonce around and connected so that she can't testify against him in court? But in truth, guys, like I said, these two are already been separated. They've been separating assets for some time. Like I said, I'm not sure if they are actually really married. They could still appear to be married on paper, but I'm not seeing that. This is very much a business deal, and they are moving like business partners. They are moving accordingly. That's kind of the first thought. That's the first thing going on in this vision. The other thing is we need to address, why is Beyonce hovering over the ground? Why? I saw her in all white and she was gliding, much like a spirit. So I've been channeling clone for a few days, and I do feel that that's had multiple reasons why it keeps coming up. So I've been saying this for some time, but there's two Beyoncés. The Beyonce that you see, this body, this is a altered clone. And it's hard to, so it's Beyonce's body, but the consciousness has not been Beyonce for a very long time. It has not been her. I've been saying, where's Beyonce? Beyonce's consciousness is being held in some sort of bubble somewhere, somewhere that someone put it. And this could be as simple as extreme spell work to hold and sedate her so that an entity can step in. This is more so kind of what I'm sensing. So in that case, you are not the operator of your body. So there's two Beyoncés going on. There's the current operator of her soul and body, which is, I don't know, but it's a powerful entity. It's an entity. And then there's also the OG Beyonce. Now, my question is, because I have seen Beyonce leaving this earth, and I've been saying that for a few years, she will be leaving this earth soon. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be soon. It's going to be within the next few years. And that Beyonce could very much be there, right? The Beyonce body that you see, but this entity that is the current operator of the body and of the soul will be stepping out. Now, will Beyonce's consciousness come back in? I don't know. But I'm truly feeling that the physical vessel also will have to die when this happens. Because this entity has taken up so much energy, like has that when this energy pulls out of the physical realm, there's the body can't exist anymore. So I am seeing that it is a physical death. So many things, guys, are gonna rattle this world. Let's hold on to your seats. It's about to get interesting. All of Hollywood's falling down. And Diddy is, this is a vision about Diddy now. Oh, yeah. One I want to say about Jay-Z, yes, he will get eventually caught. He's already, guys, he's the one who put P.Diddy behind bars. He's already went ahead of him, trying to get ahead of the situation and rat on him, like basically take the other Sean, because like I told you, they're two of the same. They're the same people. Same initials, Sean Carter and Sean Combs. They are the same energy, the same soul. It's what I've been saying. He's throwing his twin flame under the bus. Here, take him, take the other Sean C. SC. Interesting. Did South Carolina get hit in these hurricanes, guys? Was South Carolina affected by the hurricane? Because that's very interesting that both of their initials are SC, and the initials to South Carolina is also SC. What are we seeing in the media? We're seeing a storm of the SCs, Sean Carter and Sean Combs. And South Carolina is currently under a tropical storm warning. And yeah, so they put all of this in our face, guys. Yeah, I know that South Carolina is one of the most vulnerable states that can get impacted by hurricanes and tropical storms. So I'm not sure if they were affected this time around, but this is what's going on. They're telling you what's going on. So Sean Carter and Sean Puffy Combs are on trial, pretty much. This is what I see. And this is spiritually, right? I'm not saying it won't happen physically. It will happen physically, but spiritually, they are on trial right now. And they are representing this energy, this hurricane season that we're in. It's not just a physical hurricane. It's also spiritual. It's a spiritual cleansing out of the old energies, patterns, old systems, the old way of being. This is what this whole thing is representing, right? And both P. Diddy and Sean Combs, they both have a father wound, because every time I really tap into their energy, it does take me back to their early childhood, There's a lot of healing that needs to be done, that they have never done the healing work, and they have a father wound, abandonment issues from their father leaving them. I do believe this has also affected their sexuality as well. So Spirit just wants to let you know where this all came from and started from. Now, switching to P. Diddy, the P. Diddy prophecy I had 2 nights ago. So P. Diddy I was at a party. Now, this party wasn't a freak off, y'all. This party I was seeing in my mind's eye was like a regular party. You know, you have a bar area, you have a dance floor, you know, it was more like family there, right? So in this dream, P. Diddy was like wearing a leather jacket, like a long leather jacket. It felt that it was like back in, I don't know, was this the early 2000s or the 90s when people used to wear those long leather jackets? But basically, he was paying a tab at the bar and the party was pretty much over. And everyone was getting ready to leave. And he was leaving with his girlfriend out the door. And then I was there. And then me and this other guy, for some reason, says we were all leaving out. And then this guy that I was with, he said, hey, we need to go back in and check and make sure everything's cleaned up. So I went back in with him and he went around to the other side of the bar and kind of back a little bit, and there was a couch there. And then we looked down at the couch, there were a bunch of like peanuts and crushed shells on the ground. And then he started to like sweep them up and clean it up. And then I looked, there was a sweatshirt rolled up on the other side of the sofa. And when I unrolled it, it had a bunch of like peanuts in it. And so I was like shaking it out, right? So the guy could sweep that up too. So P. Diddy, I do believe this is what this vision is trying to tell us, that P. Diddy has someone doing the cleanup work, going in and covering up his crimes. There is a cleanup crew that is absolutely getting tapes, destroying tapes. And Spirit is saying even making tapes, making false tapes. I truly believe that. That just came through. And all those balloons, girl, I don't know how they got there, but that's Spirit confirming the message. They're even making false tapes to cover the tracks. So a lot of these tapes that people say that they have, a lot of this stuff will be false tapes, guys. It will be false. It will be false tapes. And so I know that we want to see they're saying, girl, that Oprah got a tape. Girl, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. But as much as it like will feel good to take down these people, some of the stuff that we're going to be seeing or hearing about will not be true. So thank you, Source. What Source is saying, this is part of his defense. Source is saying that all they have to do, and this is why Puffy is saying that he wants to go on trial. All they have to do is give reasonable doubt. All they have to do is plant fake tapes in with the real ones so that no one knows which one is which. So that when some of these tapes are found to be fake, the jury will have to throw the whole thing away. Wow. Thank you, Source. Source is on it today, guys. I'm only 4 days into my fast, to this the Christ, the cosmic Christ and the 33-degree pivot kind of thing that I'm doing, guys. And I got to come back and make a video about that. But Source is on top of it. So that's his defense. That is what his defense lawyers have been coming up with. So people are making I was going to say false tapes, but I wanted to say face. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like using AI, right? This may come out just like we were looking at those Kate Middleton videos, which were all AI generated. This may be the same thing going on with P. Diddy. There might be someone else's body superimposed with someone else's face, just scrapped together pieces of what they've always been doing, right? So this is part of his defense. This is why he's saying he wants to take the trial, because he's an actor. They're all actors, right? He believes that he can charm the jury, that he can charm them. His goal is to charm them and to offer them a little luxury, even though he has nothing. And what I mean luxury is to offer a part of his personality that makes them feel good, that makes them feel accepted by a celebrity of his stature, right? But in fact, a lot of these tapes will be a setup so that they can say that the evidence was tampered with. That is his defense, and I'm standing on that. That's what Spirit is saying. So, few other visions. No, I'm not going to say that. It's so far left, guys. When you see the combinations of people on these tapes, I mean, you will never see it, but I did have a vision of a tape, an escapade with Usher and Justin Timberlake. I did see that. And they were exchanging some very passionate kisses. Like it looked like romance when I saw it. It was very eerie, guys, because you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. And the fact that someone can present one way and be totally different is very scary. It's very demonic to deceive in that way. But that's what I saw. So there's going to be some crazy stuff coming out, some crazy pairings. And also, too, I also saw a vision of at one of the parties, P. Diddy is dressed, not P. Diddy, but the whole party goers are dressed in like black outfits. They look like, I want to say they're cloaks, but they're like updated cloaks. So they look like something you might wear, in India, but they're all black, right? And it basically goes from the neck all the way down to the feet, right? But I'm calling it a cloak. And so what I saw in this image, in this vision, is people being invited into Diddy's bedroom chambers. Everyone's wearing the same thing. You don't know what they're going in there for. So I see like a spin the wheel sort of thing. So when you spin the wheel, it's like a surprise. You go in and you do whatever it says there, but no one knows, right? So there's a little bit of secrecy here, but everyone knows that they went in the room with Diddy, but some of the stuff is not on the thing. It's not sexual. So you don't really know. You're not seeing what everyone else is getting. You just know there's some that are sexual and some that are not sexual. Some are demeaning and some are just, some are simple, but most of them are either demeaning or sexual, right? So they spin the wheel and they go into this room and they do whatever it says there. That is a party that he had that I tapped into. And I'm seeing that there is about 12 people engaged in these activities there. And yeah, it's very interesting, guys. And this thing it's kind of in a way a bit personal because you guys know I used to be in the music industry. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were just reminiscing on the good old days. We had some good times. We had some good times. But I know people personally who've been essayed by very prominent people in the music industry. Women that were afraid to speak up. And I know we often ask, why did they not step forward? Why did they wait 15, 20 years? Well, I can tell you firsthand that I know the answer to that because I know people and I'm very close with them that have had these things happen to them by some high profile people. You feel that you're going to be shamed. You guys have to understand. And me and my girlfriend were talking about this the other day. That was a time when we were still on the old program and code. This was a time 20 years ago, and I'm talking when this incident happened. Maybe, yeah, 18 or 20 years ago. That was a time when women still did what they were told. women still were looking for acceptance from men. Men still banded together to make the woman feel that she was the problem. It was a different time, guys. This is a different time now where people can come out. And I even applaud the men that are coming out, because no way 20 years ago would a man be able to come out and say that they were essayed by another man, especially someone as prominent as Diddy and all these other, you know, people in the industry of stature. So that's why these people hadn't come out. It's also the shame. And it's also, too, how this industry work, guys. The reason why your friends and family go out to Hollywood and they ain't making it big is because you have to do things that you do not want to do, that most don't want to do. You have to do it. It's an initiation. And when you refuse to do it, you either take the scenic route, the long way, like myself, the long way. And eventually, by the time you take the blessing is when you take the long way, you see it from all angles. And by the time I ended up as a producer at Judge Judy, I had seen so much by then. I didn't want it, girl. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because I've seen too much in music, in films, in television. I'd seen too much. I even got to work with Steven Spielberg. That was pretty cool. That was surprising. So it's, but you get back then, you get excited about these names, but now I run from it. I don't want to see anything that looks like a celebrity. I don't. And what, a few months ago, one of my homeboys hit me up on Instagram, and he's a multi millionaire, and he's a famous rapper. He's not in the limelight now because he's done a lot of business deals, so he doesn't really have to do tours and things like that. But it's a level of talking to him. And he's a sweetheart, by the way. Very humble guy, but kind of aloof. Kind of aloof. And he was very aloof when I knew him. And we were friends before he made it. And when I spoke to him, it's like, how is it that you've been in this industry for all this time, but yet you are exactly the same? How is it that I have less resources than you, and I'm completely different and expanded in consciousness? I couldn't believe it. This was like, I was like, there ain't no way. Do they have a stun gun to like freeze people in time? Because he had not grown at all. And I was so surprised. I was surprised. And I was telling him, I was telling him, like, look, you need a healing session, right? You need a healing session. But that's what I'm saying, y'all. All the glitters ain't gold. We are the prize, guys. The best thing Source did was Source told me, because I used to be in music too, I used to be a songwriter. Source told me to leave music behind. And I immediately did it because I just resonated. I just knew this thing is so demonic, guys. You won't believe just how demonic this thing is. I remember at one of, now, everyone is saying the P.Diddy parties are all freak-offs. No, they're not all freak-offs, guys. So when people are like, I was at a Diddy party, that's not a freak-off. A freak-off is the after party. Okay, like and this is another thing. People got to be careful what they say online, because they're going to bring some of the commentary that people have been doing as false evidence. It's kind of colluding the evidence. This is part of his defense, right? So basically, sorry about that. So basically, it's the after party. So I remember being at one of the parties. Now, mind you, this was not P. Diddy's house. This was Robin Thicke's house. However, P. Diddy is contracted to bring parties to certain places. Guys, you have to know that he's hired to do this. So he's working for someone else. It's not just him. We have not seen the person that's behind this, which I actually got another message about. Guys, there's been so much going on. I have to bring that to you. It's very, I actually made an hour video about who was behind all of this. And it leads to, basically, it leads to the king and queen of the underworld. It leads to people who are part of the foundational structure of Hollywood. It's very deep. He is nothing compared to them. He's hired to bring parties to people. So this party that I went to at Robin Thicke's house, right? Because we were always hang out at Robin Thicke's house, and because one of my friends was a producer underneath him, so we were always there. So the party is the party, right? It's a regular party, guys. It's not a freak off, right? But interesting. Now, when I'm reflecting back, I did notice that a lot of the people came wearing white, some of the other A-list celebrities. And the other people weren't. It was like there's some people that were wearing white. I truly believe that they were already branded in a way of like this coming to the after party, and these were some celebrities, right? Some of them were A-list celebrities and producers. And I remember at this party, so it's it's very interesting. We were in the bathroom at the party, and Paris Hilton comes up to me and my girlfriend, and she's snorting. She's like, "Sorry, you want some?" Like just nonchalant, right? Just offering us Coke. Like, girl, we good. We fine. And then so the party's ending, right? And so P. Diddy's I think it was bodyguard or something, like knocks on the door in the bathroom. Get the F out. If you're not staying, get the F out. Like, wanting everyone to get out of the bathroom because now the after party is about to begin. So it is very secret, guys. It's not every party is not yes, there's drugs, there's alcohol there's celebrities, there's, women. They're not, it's a regular party. Then the freak offs happen after, much later after that, guys. So I wanted to just clear that up because everyone thinks that every party is a freak off, and no. And the people going to the freak offs, you guys know what it is. So I'm not victim shaming at all, but when you're at the after party, you already know what's about to go down. You already know what's about to happen. And so it's just very interesting. It wasn't a secret. That's the thing, guys. Looking back now on my experience, wow, it wasn't a secret because even my friend said, you guys got to leave by a certain time because basically it's going to be a full-blown orgy, is basically what he said in a nutshell. So it wasn't a secret. That's why all these celebrities are quiet. That's why they ain't talking, y'all. It's because they were participating. Diddy was only hired to bring the party to different places. We have not yet got to the hierarchy of this whole thing yet. We haven't. So I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. I think I'm going to leave this right here for today. But guys, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. And I will be back with more. I love you guys. The birds, the bees, and yes, all of the trees, they all love you too. Love is the way. Forgiveness, it is the key. And truth is the absolute light that will always, always guide us home. Be well. Be well, guys. Bye.